Zero Bravo Bravo, good afternoon to you. Report your altitude? 2,000 feet.
Hi guys, Wycliffe Barrett here. Going to do a review today on Xcamera from stickandrudderstudios.com. I'm not a huge expert with this, and although I've had it a while, I haven't really messed around with it. But yesterday I had an epiphany and decided that I must get on with this. So I opened it up and we've got this rather confusing menu here. But after a little while and watching a video, I think I managed to get it together, and I have to say that even though for a long time I've been very pleased with the camera system in Xplane, this is actually 10 times better. And right now what you can see here is I've set up some views and cameras and categories. It's all very confusing because they talk about categories and then they have cameras. So you can have a category, say, called cockpit, which I have, and you can then set up a number of different cameras for the cockpit. In fact, you can set up to 1,000 cameras per category. I believe that's right. I'll have to check that out. It might be you can set up 100 cameras per category. You can have as many categories as you want, I think, and you can have something like, I believe, up to 10,000 different views. It's amazing. As you can see here, I'm just going through some of the views, and it took me a while to figure out how to get previous camera and next camera and previous category and next category worked out, but I've done it. And here I've moved to an external category whereby I've just got a tail view, a left and right view. Here's the tail view coming up now. There you go. So I've got a tail view, left and right. This is another category which is called orbit. I've only created one orbit because that's all that's really needed in this here. And then I did some other categories as well. I did a flyby and a couple of others as well. So I think I created cockpit, external, orbit, flyby, and then there's another one as well which I'll talk about later on in the film because it's interesting. So here's the flyby. Obviously it doesn't look that impressive because I'm on the ground and static and not moving, but it's theoretically what you'd see as I fly along and do the flyby. The camera goes past the camera goes past the plane, or the plane goes past the camera. So all very interesting. As I say, it did take me a while to figure it all out, and as I say, I'm not an expert, and I did look at some video. Let's have a listen.
Hi, this is Mark from Stick and Rudder Studios, and today I'm going to take you through a tutorial of Xcamera 1.1. So first off, Xcamera is an advanced camera system for Xplane 9 and Xplane 10. For those of us who were avid FSX users, you may recall a add-on called EasyDock, Easy Camera add-on. And what Xcamera is attempting to do is replicate and even go beyond what the EasyDock product for FSX tried to do.
So there you go. Mark is talking about what he wanted Xcamera to do, and I have to agree with him that I think he's done a terrific job. As I say, a little bit confusing, but what you need to do is just watch the video. Now, I'd forgotten that I didn't have an iPad view, so very quickly I created an iPad view. So I created a category called iPad, and I just had one camera, which is for the iPad there. So let's remove the menu, and then we can have a look at what that looks like without the menu. There we go, and just using the buttons that I've got set up from one camera to the next. There we go, absolutely superb. Well, let's see what this looks like in reality. I'm zipping around all over the place, and we'll do a taxi and take off, so I need to call for the pushback truck. So just call for the pushback on the iPad, and we'll go outside. There's the pushback just connecting itself to the aircraft, and we'll start the pushback. So I'm going to be going through the different views, and I've been using the the one button that I've got set up. It's a 4-way switch that I've got set up, and I've got in one direction it will give me a category, and then in the opposite direction it will give me a previous category, and then in the other axis of the 4-way switch, one direction will give me camera, and the other direction will give me previous camera. So if I keep clicking in the one direction, and that's not the band, it'll scroll through the cameras in sequence. But I can do that, or else I can go back to the previous one, which is quite useful, especially when you're in the cockpit and you've got a cockpit view and you want the overhead view, or the iPad, and the front panel. So here we are. So I'm not using any of the Xplane views. I'm only using Xcamera views here as we begin our taxi out to runway 30. It does take a little bit of getting used to, and in the video, what Mark tells you is to be very careful of your naming conventions, and that you apply the same naming conventions to different cameras, because you've got to set up cameras for each aircraft. Although saying that, there are a large number of community files that have already been created. There wasn't one for the 767, so I had to do that myself. But there are a large number of community files for a large number of Xplane aircraft as well. And you can just, when you install it, you just download them straight away. Now, one of the very good things about Xcamera is the pricing arrangements. What Mark has done, and the guys at Xcamera Stick and Rudder, is they've applied a kind of graded cost. So, for example, if you're a student or a young person with not very much money, you can make a donation of anywhere between $1 from $1 upwards. Of course, if you're income generating like myself, then you can pay what you want. There is even an option to get a registration key and pay nothing at all. So it's a really strange pricing arrangement, but it works, and I'm glad that he's done it in that manner. So I suppose if you have no income, you're a student and you have no income at all, you could pay nothing and get a registration key. If you've got a little bit of income, you could pay a couple of dollars, or if you're employed and in income generating, then you could pay as much as you want, anywhere $10, $20, $30, $40, whatever you wish. So I think that is a really clever pricing arrangement, and it shows that the guys at Stick and Rudder have got a real feel for the Xplane community and wish to continue with that. So, as always, it's Wycliffe Barrett here. I hope you found this review of some use. I think that this is a fantastic program, far better than I thought it would be, and I highly recommend it. Once again, this is not a paid for endorsement. I've actually purchased this myself, so nobody's given me anything. This is just my opinion. But I think it's very, very good and well worth the money. So I would recommend that you go and download it, and if you think you can donate something, then please do. As always, my name is Wycliffe Barrett. This is Xplane Dedicated, and we'll see you soon. Cheerio. Yeah.